Vice President Leni Robredo is not set on any position yet ahead of the 2022 elections as her eyes remain focused on COVID-19 pandemic. The PNP and the PDEA are working on law enforcement operation rules to avoid misencounter, just like what happened last February. The country's COVID-19 caseload now stands at 1,143,000 after over 5,700 new infections were recorded overnight. The Philippine General Hospital is calling for cash and in-kind donations after a fire hit the facility early Sunday morning. And experts are looking at Disney's business model as the barometer of how the economy could reopen amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Focused and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. Vice President Leni Robredo dispels rumors that she is preparing to run for governor in the 2022 national elections. Robredo said in her radio show that she's currently focused on the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Still, the Vice President made it clear that she is open to running for any position, including the presidency. She said this after former Senator Antonio Trillanes claimed that Robredo will run as governor in Camarines Sur in the next elections.
Open ako sa lahat ng options. At ano yung mga options na yun? Tumakbo ako ng Pangulo. Tumakbo ako ng governor, tumakbo ako ng congressman, o hindi na ako tumakbo at all. Pero ito Eli, hindi nga natin matutukan ito dahil sobrang busy tayo dahil sa pandemya.
PNP Chief Guillermo Elizar and PDEA Director General Wilkins Villanueva have agreed on a new unified operational guidelines. This after PDEA agents and Quezon City police officers almost got into a shootout during a drug bust operation at the mall parking lot yesterday. In an ambush interview, Elizar said they will improve the system by coming up with unified operational guidelines. Under the new guidelines, PDEA agents are now going to coordinate with the concerned police stations instead of contacting the whole district.
Yung ating coordination, kung dati malaking area, halimbawa may operation ng ang QCPD, nilalagay buong Quezon City, hindi na ganun. Ang gagawin natin, ang coordination operation is doon sa area ng mga station na yon.
The Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura or SINAG blast the new executive orders signed by President Duterte. The EOs modify the rates of import duty on the pork products and rice. Chairman Rosendo So told One News that they opposed the move since the prices, specifically of rice, had already gone down in other countries. He also noted that no other country outside the ASEAN have asked the Philippines to lower its tariff rates.
Dapat hindi na binaba yung tarifa dahil wala naman like Pakistan and India or China. They not ask to lower the tariff. Why the Secretary of Agriculture have petition to lower the tariff? Yun ang nakikita namin may problema. No?
So also criticized the upcoming National Food Security Summit, saying that reports during the event will only appear what the government wants to see. He stated that this was the reason why they declined to attend the event.
They will present what they like, but this is not from consultation from the agri-industry. So walang consultation ng ginawa, and gusto lang nila pakita yung gusto ng ating gobyerno, but hindi yung gusto ng ating mga magsasaka and mga local racer.
Now here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. House Majority Leader Martin Romualdez has vowed to defer the impeachment complaint against Supreme Court Associate Justice Marivic Leonen. Romualdez said the House Committee on Rules will discuss the referral of the impeachment complaint against Leonen, who previously said Congress should not spend its time attending to false issues. The North Luzon Expressway will implement higher toll fees starting Tuesday, May 18. The increase will be an additional 2 pesos for Class 1 vehicles, 3 pesos for Class 2, and 4 pesos for Class 3 in the open system. The open system, where a flat rate is charged per entry, includes Quezon City, Caloocan City, Valenzuela City, Malabon City, Navotas, Meycauayan City, and Marilao, Bulacan. And Pag-asa says Metro Manila and the rest of the country will experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms due to the easterlies. Residents are warned to prepare for possible flash floods or landslides during severe thunderstorms. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. Still watching One News Now, I'm Riza Diaz. Malacanang joins the Philippine General Hospital and other groups and individuals in calling for donations. A fire hit the hospital earlier today, prompting the transfer of some patients to other facilities. Camille Samonte with the report.
A number of COVID and non-COVID patients in Philippine General Hospital were evacuated after a fire broke out in its central block this morning. Some newborn babies and pediatric patients were temporarily transferred to the hospital chapel.
More or less na puno-puno ang chapel, but we managed to still keep the distance dahil nga sa di namin alam kung mayroon bang COVID o non-COVID kasi noong bumaba sila from 6th, 7th floor, almost nagkasabay.
But because of the hospital limited space, 12 babies were transferred to Santa Ana Hospital, while 4 were transferred to Gat Andres Bonifacio Memorial Medical Center.
Yung ating mga babies, talagang isa sila sa mga naapektuhan dahil just above the operating room, yung 3rd floor, ay yung nursery. So, neonatal ICU, saka mga nursery. So lahat yung mga babies na yon, we really have to secure them at dinala namin sa lugar na kahit papaano ay ma-maintain namin yung temperature control, ma-regulate sila.
Several pedia patients were also moved to private hospitals upon their requests. Ospital ng Maynila reported that 2 patients of PGH were transferred to their hospital for appendectomy. PGH spokesperson Jonas Del Rosario said the fire started at the operating room sterilization area. It is located on the third floor of PGH Central Block building. This is where the state-run hospital admits paying patients. The cause of the fire has yet to be determined. There are no reported casualties or injuries so far. Del Rosario ensured that COVID and non-COVID patients were separated properly. And critical COVID patients were evacuated safely despite being on ventilators. Other affected patients were temporarily moved to the hospital's new emergency room. In the meantime, the PGH will not be able to accommodate new patients.
Yung ER kasi namin, ginawa mo ng evacuation area. In a way, may bago kami emergency room na binuksan para doon muna yung mga ibang mga pasyente namin. So sarado yung emergency room at tama ka na for now, hindi pa alam kung hanggang kailan. Hopefully not for a long time kasi alam mo naman very crucial ang emergency room ng PGH to the public.
PGH is the country's biggest COVID-19 referral hospital. The hospital has since released a call for donations, both in kind and cash. For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
The IATF is planning to distribute modules containing COVID-19 information to different barangays nationwide. In a radio interview, Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said this move can help barangays in ensuring that their residents will comply to the minimum health standards. The country has been facing a spike in COVID-19 infections since March. Government officials pinned this problem to people not properly following the minimum health standards. Now, as one of the worst-hit businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic, Disney is looking to serve as a barometer of how the economy reopens. Let's get more details from this Bloomberg report.
Disney's business model was a prime example of what was worst hit by the pandemic. Movies, cruises, theme parks, sports, all shut down, affecting thousands of jobs.
Tourism industry in Central Florida is what makes up the bulk of the business there. And so it is an absolute, it really is a tragedy for thousands of workers and thousands of Floridians that are in desperate need of help and that are unable to find work.
Though it wasn't all bad, for the company at least. Disney Plus. It took off as people stuck at home turned to television for entertainment.
We're incredibly proud of how much our stories have been embraced by people around the world. 95% of the population in 12 of our top global markets engaged with our content over the past year alone.
While it has been a long year for the company, going from cutting 28,000 theme park jobs to a major executive reorganization, things are starting to look up. The happiest place on earth is now open, and vaccinations are helping to ease concerns about the pandemic.
We're thrilled with the response that we're seeing from our guests in terms of future reservations and intent to come back to our parks.
This pent-up demand being seen not only at Disney, but across the leisure and hospitality landscape.
Summer's going to be busy for sure. I mean, there are places certainly around the U.S. that are virtually sold out at this point.
Disney is set to report earnings, and the results, plus their forecasts, will be a glimpse into people's desire to re-enter the slowly reopening economy.
And for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. You may also visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.